A quiet awakening beneath the soil. If you've spent years with your hands in the soil, you already know this truth. Gardening is never rushed. We sow, we wait, we trust. And sometimes, if the season is kind, we are rewarded. But every now and then, nature whispers a secret so subtle that most people walk right past it. When I first encountered this one, I had to stop and read it twice. Not because it was complicated, but because it was almost too simple to believe. What if I told you that centuries before seed packets, before fertilizers in plastic bags, before brightly colored chemical coatings, gardeners discovered a way to wake seeds early, days early, and help plants grow stronger from the very first moment of life? Imagine stepping into your garden at dawn, coffee warming your hands, and seeing green tips pushing through soil long before they're supposed to be there. Not forced, not stressed, just ready. For generations, a quiet idea has drifted through the margins of history that a nearly invisible touch of electricity, so gentle it wouldn't harm an insect, can act as a signal, a message, a soft instruction that says, now is the time. Yet walk into any modern store today and you won't find this knowledge on the shelves. Instead, you'll see seeds painted bright colors, treated with chemicals whose names are hard to pronounce and harder to justify. So what happened to the simple approach? Was it wrong? Was it dangerous? Or did it simply not fit into a system that profits from complexity and dependence? Today, we begin uncovering that story together. From candlelit experiments in Europe, to wired gardens of the industrial age, and finally, to something you can try yourself with ordinary items at home. No mystery, no chemicals, just seeds, metal, water, and the quiet laws of nature. This is the beginning of a forgotten chapter in gardening history. The first experiment, 1747. Far back into the year 1747. Picture a small Parisian room, stone floors cool beneath bare feet, shelves lined with glass and brass instruments. A man leans over two identical pots of soil, moving carefully, deliberately. His name was Jean-Antoine Nollet, a priest, a physicist, and a man convinced that life still had secrets no one had bothered to test. He planted the same seeds in both pots, same soil, same water, same temperature, nothing left to chance, except one detail. One pot remained untouched, the other received gentle electrical stimulation for several hours each day. What happened next startled everyone. Within a single day, green life appeared in the electrified soil. The untouched pot stayed silent. As days passed, the difference became undeniable. The treated plants surged upward, vibrant and eager. The others lagged behind, as though time itself had slowed. Word spread quickly. Scientists repeated the work. Botanists took notes. By the late 1700s, respected institutions openly acknowledged what they were seeing. Electricity could accelerate germination, so if this was known, recorded, confirmed, why isn't it common knowledge today? To answer that, we have to move forward in time. When scientists took notice, other thinkers repeat the experiment. In Scotland, England, and across Europe, seeds are exposed to weak electrical fields. Trees bloom early. Shoots grow faster. Roots thicken. Joseph Priestley, one of the most respected scientists of the era, reviews the results and urges the scientific community to pay attention. By the late 1700s, respected institutions acknowledge the phenomenon openly. Electricity, they conclude, appears to accelerate germination. This is not fringe thinking. It is discussed, debated, and cautiously accepted. So why didn't it become standard practice? When gardens were wired like machines. By the mid-1800s, the world was electrified, literally and figuratively. Steam engines roared, telegraphs clicked, and gardeners began to wonder, if electricity moves messages across continents, what might it do for plants? Across Britain and Europe, wires were stretched over fields. Copper threads hung above vegetables like spider silk. Some even built tall structures meant to draw energy from the air itself. Reports poured in, early harvests, heavier yields, plants that seemed unusually resilient. But not every experiment worked. Some gardens thrived, others showed no change at all. What no one understood yet was this. Plants respond to energy only within a very narrow window. Too little, nothing happens. Too much, growth shuts down. Without knowing where that balance lived, success seemed unpredictable. And slowly, enthusiasm faded. But the truth never disappeared. It simply waited. What's really happening inside a seed? Zoom in, far smaller than roots or leaves. Down to the seed itself. Every seed is a vault. Its outer coat is designed to protect life until conditions are right. Water must pass through. Signals must align. Electricity, when applied gently, does something remarkable. It briefly opens microscopic pathways in the seed's membrane. Not permanently, just long enough. Through those tiny openings, water and minerals rush in faster than usual. The seed's chemistry shifts. An enzyme called amylase wakes up. Its job is to convert stored starch into sugar, fuel for growth. When this process starts early, everything changes. Roots emerge faster. Shoots grow stronger. The seedling begins life with momentum instead of hesitation. This isn't magic, it's physics nudging biology in the right direction. The balance that changes everything. Here's where caution matters. Electricity is not something to overpower plants with. It must be subtle, measured, respectful. Scientists call this balance the response curve. Gardeners might call it the sweet spot. Within this range, seeds experience helpful stress, just enough to activate growth systems. Outside it, the effect disappears or becomes harmful. This is why precision matters more than enthusiasm. And the good news? The right amount is incredibly small. A simple home method. Now comes the part where history becomes personal. You don't need machines, you don't need power outlets. Just a small dish, a damp paper towel, a piece of copper, and a piece of zinc. Placed carefully, these materials create a mild electrical field, about 1 volt, enough to awaken seeds without harming them. Let the seeds rest between the metals for several hours, then plant them as you normally would. That's it. No purchases, no chemicals, just curiosity. Seeing proof before sprouts appear. You don't have to wait for leaves to know something has changed. Inside electrified seeds, starch begins converting to sugar almost immediately. This shift can be seen with a simple iodine test, a visible confirmation that life has already stirred. The seed is no longer waiting. It has begun, extending the energy outdoors. Some gardeners go further, using simple antennas to guide natural atmospheric energy into the soil. Copper wire, wooden stakes, no batteries. These systems don't force growth, they invite balance. Gardeners report stronger plants, better moisture retention, and improved resilience. Again, nothing artificial, just alignment with forces already present. Why this was never taught. So why don't we hear about this? Because it can't be patented. Because it doesn't require repeat purchases. Because it empowers gardeners instead of making them dependent. Modern agriculture favors systems that must be bought again and again. Electroculture belongs to everyone, and that makes it inconvenient. Your garden, your choice. We've walked through history, through science, through forgotten wisdom. Now the question is simple, what will you do with it? You don't have to abandon modern tools. You don't have to believe everything at once. Just experiment, observe. Let your garden teach you. Because the power to grow stronger plants has always been within reach. Quiet, patient, waiting for someone willing to listen. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Share this with a fellow gardener who loves to experiment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in this quiet electric revolution. Until next time, keep growing, keep questioning, and never ignore the small sparks that change everything.